Hey, this is the chart that you should already have in your notebook. If you haven't finished it, now quickly copy this down. I'm going to show you different pictures of atoms. These are called Bohr models. You are going to fill in this information based on the models that I am showing you. Keep in mind that you can stop it so that you can view the picture for longer. Here's the first picture. This is hydrogen. Put down how many protons, how many neutrons, how many electrons, what the mass is. Now remember, the particles that have mass are the protons and the neutrons. So you're going to count how many protons and neutrons there are. That's going to give you the mass. Remember, protons are positive, electrons are negative. Neutrons have no charge. So, looking at this information, what is the charge of the atom going to be? You're going to do the same thing for each question after this. If you have filled in the hydrogen atom, I'm going to talk about that right now. If you haven't, stop this recording and fill in that information. For number of protons, you should have put 1. 1 proton, and it has a positive charge. There are no neutrons in 1 atom of hydrogen, so you should have put 0 for that. There is 1 proton and 0 neutrons. That means hydrogen has a mass of 1. It has 1 electron. Remember, electrons have a negative charge. So if I have a positive 1 and a negative 1, that means the charge of the entire atom is 0. You have a periodic table at your desk. Look at your periodic table. Do you see hydrogen with the H? It has atomic number of 1. That atomic number of 1 tells you the number of protons. It has a mass of 1.008. Remember, we don't like decimal numbers, so we round those. So that is checking your work to make sure that there you have a mass of 1. A positive 1 and a negative 1. That is what gives you the 0 charge. You're going to do the same thing for each one of these pictures. If you need help, raise your hand and I'll be glad to come help you. Here are the answers for you to check your work. How did you do on that? Find all of these on the periodic table. The proton right here, these protons, the number proton, this is the same as the atomic number. Find them on the periodic table. The number of protons is going to equal the number of electrons. So that means you have the same number of positive as you do the negatives. The charge of the atoms is going to be 0 because you have the same number of positives as you do the negatives. That is the information that we are adding on, that we are learning today. You identify the element by the number of protons, which is the atomic number. The number of protons is going to equal the number of electrons, which means the atom is going to have 0 charge because you're going to have the same number of protons as you do negative electrons. So why is the charge 0 for each of the atoms? Think about that. Remember, we said the number of positive protons is going to be the same for each of the negative electrons. So an atom is going to have no charge because the positive and the negatives are equal. So there's a lot of math in science. Now what I need you to do is I need you to, here we go, number 1 to 5 in your notebook. You're going to answer these questions. You do not have to write out the questions, nor do you have to answer in complete sentences. But you want to be sure that you answer each part. Question 1 and question 3 have 2 parts to the question. So make sure you explain why and where they are found. Once you finish with this, now you're going to go back into Google Classroom. On the same assignment day, you're going to find a link that says PhET Build an Atom. You're going to use this worksheet. You're going to use this link to complete the worksheet. You're going to get the worksheet from the pickup bin. If you finish, you are going to fold this and put it in the envelope in the front of your science notebook. If you do not finish, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold it and you're going to put it into your science notebook when it's time for class to end. If you do finish, then you can go into your Zizers and go ahead and look at the quizzes there. And you can also go back to your Quizlet vocabulary. Remember, don't sit there and do nothing. Don't read a book. Don't play around. You're going to do science the entire time.